Somalia and Eritrea have signed a joint declaration on brotherly and comprehensive cooperation following Somalia's president's visit to the Red Sea nation, a first by a sitting Somali head of state. President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo is in Asmara for talks seen as another step forward towards seeking lasting stability in a region faced with decades of conflict. Abukar Al-Bedri is an independent political analyst and says that the Horn of African region is set to benefit from Eritrea's new diplomatic approach.
It brings back Eritrea into the tables of the region, which means it ends 20 years of conflict, not only war, but economic, diplomatic, and also strategic conflict, which means a new page for the entire region.
The Red Sea nation is strategically located and shares a border with Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Sudan. Earlier this month, Asmara and Addis Ababa ended their state of conflict after Ethiopia's new Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed initiated a wave of reforms both at home and across the region. For close to a decade now, Asmara remains the subject of sanctions imposed by the UN Security Council after it was accused of supporting armed groups in Somalia and Ethiopia, a charge it continues to deny.
Eritrea was accused of sending arms to Somalia. So the visit of Somalia president to Eritrea may open a chapter for the two countries and for the region, and it may also end if there was something that Eritrea was giving hand to the armed groups in the region.
The United Nations has already expressed its willingness to revoke a decades-long sanctions against Eritrea, a move that will likely to create a newfound stability here in the Horn of African region, stability that will in turn boost trade across the region that has access to both the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea, with the potential of turning the Horn of Africa into a major regional hub.
The Gulf countries have fear that the economic power will shift from the Gulf to the East and Horn of Africa. And it is a phenomenon that can happen sooner or later. But it depends on how the regional powers in this region maintain their differences and have common ground for the future of their countries, their people, their economy, and their strategic understanding of what's happening in the world.
Meanwhile, it's celebrations in the streets of Mogadishu and Asmara as the two countries finally resumed diplomatic ties for the first time in 15 years, raising new hopes for its citizens. Abdulaziz, Billow, CGTN, Mogadishu, Somalia.